Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And so this video is going to be my near 3-month review on this here, the Google Pixel 6. I'm going to try to keep the video as short as possible. My last video that I just shot this on went 35 minutes, so that's pretty long. But I'm going to try to keep it straight to the point. And I do have something to say about the Tensor chip at the end of this video, so please stay all the way through so you guys can hear what I have to say about this whole debacle with the Tensor chip and everything like that. But this is the Google Pixel 6, and to me, this is a pretty solid phone. Solid phone enough that, yes, I do recommend it. Will I sweep under the rug that people have been having bug issues with it? No, not an idiot. There are people who are having bug issues with it, and I can say that I am fortunate enough to be one of the consumers that does not have bugs with the Pixel 6. Do I have the Wi-Fi problem with yesterday's security update? Can't tell nobody because I don't have home Wi-Fi. I use mobile data. I use a hotspot on this for my other IoTs. And so therefore, I can't tell you guys if I'm having Wi-Fi issues or not, but data connectivity is spot on. Yeah, so a couple of things here that I'm going to tell people off jump because people want to know what the bad is. I guess these days, the negative is more sought after than positives. So the biggest negative about the Google Pixel 6 is the body design. This phone is slippery as hell. So no way would I ever recommend anyone rocking this thing without any type of protection, i.e. a case on it. I don't care if you get one of these cheapy $6 clear cases with the corner bumpers. If you want to, just wrap it up. At least give it a fighting chance in case you accidentally drop it. Because, yeah, I've seen some drops and they're pretty messy. But can't blame people for saying that they're blaming the phone. You can't go and be like, oh my gosh, you're blaming a phone. Like, yeah, it is the phone's fault. This phone is slippery. It is ridiculously slippery. And even when I take a case off, it doesn't hold it. And I could be like just sitting here in my bed or just chilling. And I feel like I'm going to drop it. And I'm nervous that I'm going to crack it from the bed. It's not to say that the phone is fragile, that it'll drop on a mattress and crack. It's just the slipperiness. It's so slippery. So it makes you, get those little jitters. So I would definitely recommend a case. So that's probably one of the biggest negatives about the Google Pixel 6, in my opinion. And again, remember, this video is my experience, my opinions, not yours, not anybody else's. So don't tell me what other people said about the phone because that doesn't matter to me. But yeah, slipperiness is going to be a big issue for a lot of people. Now, of course, you could rectify it, like I just said, getting a case if you want to show it off. Now, if you're not concerned about showing that you have the kind of coral or the seafoam green, and you don't really want to rock a case, I don't know why you wouldn't. But you can always get skins from Skinami or D-brand skins, skin it up. That could give you a slightly fighting chance. I mean, you drop it with the skin, it'll probably still crack underneath the skin. You just won't see it. That's why I say cases are much better. That's me. And I'm the guy who really doesn't like rocking a case, telling people with the Pixel 6, get a case. All right, so let's talk about performance. Performance with the Pixel 6 has been solid. I've been able to do everything with this phone. Video editing has been great. I use Power Director. I shoot B-roll footage on here and, post it. That's what I've been making, like the tech videos on TikTok and Instagram and whatnot. The Pixel 6 or Pixel 5a that I'm making this video with. Yeah, so it's been solid. It's been very good. I got to give them thumbs up on it. The Tensor chip handles very well. And you got to remember, the Tensor chip is geared towards AI, right? Which is what Google's heavily invested in. So a lot of the things that it's going to do, focus on are things that have to be helpful features, which is another thing about the Google Pixel 6 that I feel like Google drops the ball on in advertising and marketing. And that's they're always wanting to try and match iPhone and Samsung, but they never really didn't. Like, you ever hear that thing where they tell you, like a lawyer tells you, always lead with your star witness. You want to go with what this thing can do. This thing is a very helpful, very feature-packed phone, right? From call screening to messages being filtered from spam messages to hold for me to duplex. All these features are just insane. And the Tensor chip is built and geared towards powering that. Even photos like Magic Eraser, being able to remove obstacles in your photos to get you a much more personable, more zone-focused shots. You can do that, and the Tensor chip allows you to do that. And I do know that other companies are catching up with it. Samsung, I believe, has that feature where you can, do a Magic Eraser type thing. But I mean, the 6 had it built in first, and it did it pretty good off jump. So, gotta give it to them on that. The Tensor chip, to me, is not a big hindrance at all. So the performance of the phone to me is actually pretty good. Seeing that I've used phones like the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 4, which had an 800 series chip, and I haven't had problems with the Pixel 6 that made me feel like it was sluggish compared to those. And I know those are older chips. Some of them have to get all witty in the comments and say, "Oh my gosh, you're comparing an old chip to a new one." No, I'm just saying that this feels smooth every time I use it. Of course, there's people who complain about the display, that it has a 90 hertz refresh. That doesn't bother me because I'm not someone that seeks after 90 hertz refresh. 60 hertz still works fine for me. So, and someone who's going to tell me, "Oh, well, you need to turn on 90 hertz," and then you won't be saying that. I've had 90 hertz on. I've tried it on my Pixel 4. I've tried it on there. I've tried it on other Pixel devices that have 90 hertz refresh, and I can go back down to 60 hertz and not cry about it. So, yeah. Battery life on this is decent. I'm not going to say it's as solid as everyone else's experiences. People have been reporting a day and a half to 2 days. I can tell you guys maybe about a day and 3 hours, maybe about a day and 4 hours I get with mine. And that's just when like I'm at home on my day off and I'm watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. You know, my mornings is pretty busy and then my evenings are pretty busy. And so by the time that 5 in the afternoon rolls around, after I get up at 6:30 in the morning and take this off the charger, 5 in the afternoon rolls, I need to top it up. It'll be like at maybe like 41, between 45 and 41%. I got to top it up back up to 90%, which doesn't take very long to do that. I would say I throw it on the charger, maybe about a good 30 minutes, and it's like at 96%. So, and then I'm good for the evening. By the time I end my day to go to bed, it's like down to like 67%. That's after, you know, I'm laying in bed, unwinding for the day, watching everybody else's YouTube videos for the day that they posted up, and giving them the big thumbs up just to show my support. So, yeah, I ended it about like, you know, 67%. So if I was really to say it, that's like pretty much like the whole battery and then another 20%. This is the way I'm calculating it. So, well, about a day and 3 hours, day and 4 hours for me. So battery, not a big problem there. The camera quality on this, I've only had one major problem, and that's the focus in this. The focus on this 50 megapixel camera is just, someone gave it like a good, like a Red Bull or something, because it is all over the place. And I think that needs to be addressed by Google. They need to kind of slow it down. So like 9 out of 10 shots I take are going to be great. There's always that one photo out of the 10 shots that, you know, it just seems like the focus is out of whack. Like it's trying to figure out if it's focusing on me, focusing on that pillow, focusing on that thing back there. And it just moves the focus really quickly that when you snap the photo, it just gets this weird effect to it. A little bit of noise here, a little bit of out of focus here, a little blur down there, but sharpness right there. It's just so weird. And that's something I feel like that Google can address with software updates. So Google, fix that. But other than that, the photos have been pretty good. Night sight's been pretty good. Astrophotography has been pretty good. And video is better. Video has always been good, in my opinion, when it comes to Google Pixel phones. I'm shooting with the Pixel 5a, but I will say that it has gotten better with the Pixel 6. So good on Google to bring us that, especially for vloggers and stuff like that. So I'm going to wrap this up with the Tensor chip rant here before I close this off, okay? And I'm just going to address this. There are people that I've followed, people I've respected, people that I've, you know, had the pleasure of interacting with on social media that are into tech just as much as I am, if not probably more than I am. And I remember distinctly those specific people talking about Google needs to in-house make their own hardware. And so the Pixels came and they are like, today when it's launched, they crap all over it. And then 6 months from now, they love it so much and never doubted Google on it. And it's just like, when you see that once, twice, okay, a little hypocrisy here and there is one thing. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, every single time, that's just a bit ridiculous. And so now they're crapping on the Tensor chip and saying that it should have had an 800 series chip. But how do you expect Google to in-house make hardware if you don't let them do it, okay? No one said they're going to be perfect at manufacturing a processor chip and that it was going to be butterflies and rainbows off jump, but they have to try in order for them to find their own rhythm, their own path, their own style, and then perfect it the Google way. That's the only way they're going to be able to do this. If everyone keeps talking about, they should have did the 800 series chip from Qualcomm. Well, then we're not going to be looking at $599 price tags on Pixel 6, which is another big key factor there when people are comparing the Pixel 6 to the Galaxy S21 Ultra and all these other phones. The Pixel 6 is $599. What you're getting for $599 is amazing in the Pixel 6. I digress from that. And I'm going to end this video by saying this. The Tensor 1 might have some issues. It might. It might need to be optimized a little bit more. Maybe as Google Pixels get better over time, the same thing is with the Tensor chip. And maybe we will see much better behaviors from the Tensor chip 3, 4, 5 months from now. Who knows? But to completely give up on it, to tell Google to give up on it, that's a pretty stupid statement. And I leave it at that. Thanks for checking out my video. Y'all be cool, be safe. It's always aloha. Get you a Pixel 6.